Hi, I'm Chris with My Green Earth LLC. We're back again with Liz. We did our first 3 videos it turned into, and we wanted to talk to her and some other fellow Tesla owners about their experience after they've actually had their car for a while. So Liz, let's introduce everybody. You've all seen Liz, so I don't have to introduce her again. And you are?
My name is John Von Vogel.
John?
Good.
Hi, I'm Lydia Sanders.
Okay, so we have 3 Tesla owners this time. All right, you've had your car how long now?
10 months.
All right, and how many miles?
I have 26,024 miles that I've driven on it.
Wow. How many other miles are on it?
Well, it came with 31 miles.
Oh, okay. You're going to keep that close to track of.
Yep.
Okay. So now you've had it for a while. Have you had any major maintenance or anything?
Nothing major, nothing where I couldn't drive it.
Okay.
A few minor things, a couple issues with the door handles that they swapped out, a little creak in the panel roof that they fixed, but really, that's about it.
Yeah, that's pretty less than you'd have with a new one.
Yep.
I can't even tell you how many I've always had with mine. Okay, what's your favorite thing?
Ooh, boy, there's so many.
Really?
The instant speed.
Yeah,
I'm addicted to launching my car.
I bet. I've been in your car with you launching it, so I know that.
Oh, yeah.
All right. What else do you like that's different?
Actually, it doesn't shake. And that's something weird that I never noticed about an ICE, an internal combustion engine car, was when you're sitting at a stoplight, you're vibrating the whole time. And having driven my car for so long, when I get in my husband's Civic, I can feel the shake. It's almost annoying.
Yeah, and that's a car that probably, it's a small engine, so it wouldn't shake all that much.
No, it doesn't. So just the smoothness of it, I find it almost relaxing to drive.
Interesting. Okay, is there anything you don't like?
The only thing I can think of, honestly, is the visors. The visors are a little narrow.
Oh,
so when I'm
okay.
driving home from work, I'm staring at the sun a lot.
Okay.
But other than that, I mean, you know, it's a dream to drive, excellent acceleration. I have no problem getting to the highway anymore. I mean, I don't even have to time it. I pull into the speed up lane and I just punch it, and I can find a gap.
Yeah.
I drive up to Milwaukee about once a month to go see my grandmother, and I don't have to pay anything for fuel to get up there. I can use the superchargers, and it's completely free.
That is what I was going to ask. Where are they on the way?
So I hit the supercharger normal, which is right downtown. It's great. It's right next to a lot of really good restaurants.
Oh, and for you, those of you who don't know, we're in Missouri, so that's normal.
That's normal, Illinois. And then I usually do a small stop in Rockford.
Okay.
And that gets me up to Milwaukee.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Any other major highlights you want to give?
Well, I have driven my car up the highest paved road in the U.S. I drove it out to Denver and then up Mount Evans, which is 14,100 feet above sea level.
And it's still
And it's still I've seen it because it doesn't require oxygen, so as you get higher, the elevation and the reduction in oxygen doesn't affect it at all. And what's really cool about it is, so we drove it all the way up to the top, nice winding road up to the top, and when we got up there, we had exactly 100 miles of range left. And then we ended up regenning down the entire mountainside, and by the time we got to the bottom of the mountain, and I didn't have to hit my brakes once, I just used the regen braking, and I had 118 miles of range at the bottom of it. We did. And that was actually, it was surprising how different it is driving through the mountains with this car. Because I actually had taken my husband's Civic out through the same mountains through Denver to Utah previously. And I remember being really worried because they'd have these 6-degree grades and you'd be worrying about, you know, your brakes getting too hot and not being able to slow yourself down. With the Model S, the regen is so strong, I never had to hit the brakes once. I basically just regen down and kept me at a good speed. And it was actually really an enjoyable drive.
That's interesting because I used to drive from St. Louis to Atlanta back and forth quite a bit in Atlanta, and there's 6-degree grades there, and you pick up a lot of speed. You have to use your brakes quite a bit.
Yeah, not
That's
the
interesting.
same. Not
Cool.
the same.
So you don't have to worry about the cops sitting at the bottom of the hill getting ready to give you tickets.
No, although I have to say we can get going pretty fast.
Yeah, this is true.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else you want to tell us?
I'm sure something will come up, but I'll pass it over to John now.
Okay. How you doing, John?
Good.
Good. Okay, so tell us a little bit about your car.
Well, mine was delivered just slightly after Liz's. Got it in mid-January, so I've had 9.5 months, I guess. I don't drive it quite as much as her. I've got about 18.5 on it.
Okay.
And they're almost exactly the same configuration except for color and the tech package, which I opted out of.
Okay.
Other than that, they're the
So
same.
you basically have the same car as Libby, just a different color.
Lydia also has the tech package.
Oh, she does. That's right. She didn't have the stereo.
Oh, right. And the stereo upgrade. I didn't get that either.
Okay.
But
So
it's very simple.
any major maintenance for you? Or?
Yes, actually. I had to have my battery replaced.
Really?
Yeah. I got some warnings as I was leaving town for a road trip to visit a friend for the weekend. And it said something about low voltage on the 12-volt battery. And I called the 800 number, and they took a look at it remotely, and they said, it looks fine. You're clear to go. And then another 50 miles or so later, it came up again. And I pulled over and stopped at a rest area. And when I got back out to the car, it wouldn't turn on. And so, or it wouldn't shift into drive. So I called again, and they looked at it remotely, and they I think it was a different person. They seemed surprised that I had been told to go ahead. But they were able to get it started, and he said, just don't stop it until you get where you're going, and you can plug it in. And so I did that, and when I got there, I plugged it in, and it charged fine, and it was full later that evening. And so I decided to drive across town to another friend's house to show it off. Well, right as I pulled into his driveway, the error message popped up again, and sure enough, it wouldn't start when I went to the meeting. So I had to call him again, and they wound up towing it back to St. Louis and replacing the battery. And the explanation I got was that there was a rubber seal on the connection between the battery and the car that had gotten folded under the factory. It didn't make it full seal, and some water seeped in there and caused some problems. But they gave me a rental car the entire time, and they didn't charge me anything. They put the whole new battery in there, even threw in some free upgrades and things like that.
So took good care of it.
Yeah, excellent.
That
It kind of worked out
darn
well.
expensive otherwise.
Yes. It actually even worked out well because I happened to get like a small SUV as a rental car, and I needed to drive to Michigan with my parents and my 2 nephews to go see my sister graduate. So I had a nice big car to pile everything into.
Yeah.
Even though I had to spend a lot of money.
Yeah. I guess that's a big difference. No fuel costs, is that making a difference for you? Or?
Oh yeah, tremendous. I used to spend $200 a month on gas, and now I spend $30 a month on electricity. And I drive this more than I did before I had it.
Okay. Good deal.
Maybe like 30%.
Is this more fun to drive?
Oh yeah, I use it for excuses to drive it. It's so cheap to operate that I don't hesitate to go anywhere. Because the amount of mileage doesn't faze me.
Okay. Good deal. I don't like it.
The cup holders get a lot of complaints because they're in an awkward position. It doesn't bother me too much. I think,
Slightly annoying.
yeah, it's just a little inconvenient, and I also understand why they're where they are, because you don't have the drivetrain down the middle that you can conveniently put things right on top of. So it's either right on the armrest or all the way down low where it'd be hard to reach. So they chose the lesser of two evils. And they now have an aftermarket sort of center console that you can snap in there. It does have more convenient cup holders if you'd like that.
Okay.
And then the only other thing that annoys me is the front trunk does not close itself. So every time you close it, you have to push down on it, and you leave smudges on this beautiful car. But
Well, it could be worse. It could be like my
it could be
Cadillac
worse.
CTS, which has, I've got the station wagon version, so it's got the nice automatic opening one, but it won't stay closed. So here's this ridiculously heavy thing hitting you in the head all the time.
Oh
So
yeah, I
you're
think I've
better off
heard of
than
that.
me.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
And I think that's about it.
Okay. Your turn.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm well, thank you.
Good.
I got my Model S in the end of May of this year, so I've only had it for a few months, and I only have about 6,600 miles on it.
Okay.
But I've enjoyed all of them.
I'm sure. So what's your favorite?
The acceleration definitely is a favorite. I think it's beautiful car.
You and Liz aren't racing all the time.
No, I have not been pulled over yet.
Even in red?
Even in red, I do speed more than I used to, but I have not been pulled over yet because I know when I can and shouldn't speed. And it's a beautiful, wonderful car.
Okay. Anything you don't like?
I will echo the visors. Being shorter, it's even more of an issue for me because they hit me here.
Yeah.
And that's really about it. I mean, the front trunk is an annoyance that it doesn't close on its own. It would be a beautiful convenience if we could do that,
Right.
especially since you've usually got some bug splatter up there too that you don't want to necessarily touch. But there's really not much that I don't care for.
Any maintenance?
I have not yet had any maintenance. I have many fewer miles than those two, so I actually have not been back to the service center. I do need to get my tires rotated. That's about it. Knock on wood. I haven't had any issues yet.
Okay. So how many of these have you done? Little videos?
None.
No, it's your first?
This is my first.
Cool. Good deal. And it seems like you guys kind of have a little club.
Yeah. And it's not so little anymore.
No?
No. We've got over 80 members that
In
have
St. Louis
joined
area?
that are either owners or just EV enthusiasts.
Oh, very cool. So is this part of the St. Louis EV club, or is it just more a Tesla thing?
I'll let Liz speak to that.
So we allow anyone in, obviously, but it is for Tesla enthusiasts. It's the St. Louis Tesla Enthusiast Club. But you don't have to own a Tesla to join. You just want to come and hear about it. I know there's a lot of people that right now the Model S just isn't in their price range, but they know the Model E is coming, which shall start $30,000-$40,000 range.
Right.
And so they're just kind of hanging out and enjoying looking at our cars and hearing about our experiences while they wait for their chance to get into the EV.
Cool. Yeah, I'm debating.
I was just going to add, also, we have partnered with the St. Louis EV Club for a couple of events and things like that. There's also a St. Louis Volt Club that's very active and looking to try to do some sort of a joint activity with them.
Oh,
So
cool.
we're very open to anybody else that's interested in EVs.
Yeah, I may have to check that out myself. Yeah, I would like to get one. I'm not sure what the X or the S. Because the X, if you guys haven't seen it yet, is the SUV. You can get all-wheel drive and all that stuff. So it's pretty cool, but these are just gorgeous cars, so it's a tough choice. Plus, I want to save up and do it in cash. So I think that's it for now. I'm going to check out, we may do a Gauss meter test here because there are people that are concerned with electric fields or electromagnetic fields, and I do have a Gauss meter, so I haven't used this one, and I can't claim to be an expert. They say that this is a black art in the aircraft industry, and there's only so many people that are actually looking at all this stuff, so we'll check it out, and if it works out well, then I'll film it, and I'll talk a little more about what's safe and what's not later. I haven't had time to do a lot of research yet, but we may see you back in a minute. If not, well, I'll do a closing after this, so that's it for now. We'll see you in a few